Hello everybody. This week I have a very special update for you all. While researching the Dark Ages, the intricate relationships between the Church and the worldly powers, and women's role in all of this, I came across this very interesting book, Women's Lives in Medieval Europe, edited by Emily Empt. The book contains ancient texts translated into English. From this book we gain a glimpse into how women were viewed in those days. Very interesting. In this episode, I'll discuss the first text I studied from the book. This item goes back into Roman times, predating everything discussed on this channel so far. It completely changed the view I have on that era. It is an eulogy written in the 1st century BC for Turia by her husband. It is most likely that her husband was the Roman consul Quintus Lucretius Vespillo. Let us listen to him. Listen to the end. Sometimes the text can be difficult. But as a whole, this is a text that changed my understanding of those days quite a bit. So enjoy it, and remember, this was written 2,100 years ago.
Dear Turia, why should I mention your domestic virtues? Your loyalty, obedience, affability, reasonableness, industry in working wool, religion without superstition, sobriety of attire, modesty of appearance? Why dwell on your love for your relatives, your devotion to your family? You have shown the same attention to my mother as you did to our own parents, and have taken care to secure an equally peaceful life for her as you did for your own people, and you have innumerable merits in common with all married women who care for their good name. It is your very own virtues that I am asserting, and very few women have encountered comparable circumstances to make them endure such sufferings and perform such deeds. Providentially, fate has made such hard tests rare for women. We have preserved all the property you inherited from your parents under common custody, for you were not concerned to make your own what you had given to me without any restriction. We divided our duties in such a way that I had the guardianship of your property and you had the care of mine. Your generosity you have manifested to many friends and particularly to your beloved relatives. On this point someone might mention with praise other women, but the only equal you have had has been your sister. For you brought up your female relations, who deserved such kindness, in your own houses with us. You also prepared marriage portions for them so that they could obtain marriages worthy of your family. The dowries you had decided upon Cluvius and I, by common accord, took upon ourselves to pay, and since we approved of your generosity we did not wish that you should let your own patrimony suffer diminution, but substituted our own money and gave our own estates as dowries. I have mentioned this not from a wish to commend ourselves, but to make clear that it was a point of honor for us to execute with our means what you had conceived in a spirit of generous family affection. When I was in exile for political reasons, you provided abundantly for my needs during my flight and gave me the means for a dignified manner of living, when you took all the gold and jewelry from your own body and sent it to me over and over again, enriched me in my absence with servants, money and provisions, showing great ingenuity in deceiving the guards posted by our adversaries. You begged for my life when I was abroad. It was your courage that urged you to this step, and because of your entreaties, I was shielded by the clemency of those against whom you marshaled your words. But whatever you said was always said with undaunted courage. Meanwhile, when a troop of men tried to profit by the opportunities provided by the civil war, and break into our house to plunder, you beat them back successfully and were able to defend our home. Why should I now hold up to view our intimate and secret plans, and private conversations? How I was saved by your good advice when I was roused by startling reports to meet sudden and imminent dangers. How you did not allow me imprudently to tempt Providence by an overbold step but prepared a safe hiding place for me, when I had given up my ambitious designs, choosing as partners in your plans, to save me your sister and her husband Cluvius, all of you taking the same risk. There would be no end, if I tried to go into all this. It is enough for me and for you that I was hidden and my life was saved. When peace had been restored throughout the world, and the lawful political order re-established, we began to enjoy quiet and happy times. It is true that we did wish to have children, who had for a long time been denied to us by an envious fate. When you despaired of your ability to bear children, and grieved over my childlessness, you became anxious lest by retaining you in marriage, I might lose all hope of having children and be distressed for that reason. So you proposed divorce outright and offered to yield our house free to another woman's fertility. I must admit that I flared up so that I almost lost control of myself. So horrified was I by what you tried to do, that I found it difficult to retrieve my composure. What desire, what need to have children could I have had that was so great that I should have broken faith for that reason and changed certainty for uncertainty? But no more of this. You remained with me as my wife. For I could not have given in to you without disgrace for me and unhappiness for both of us. But on your part, what could have been more worthy of commemoration and praise than your efforts in devotion to my interests? When I could not have children from yourself, you wanted me to have them through your good offices and, since you despaired of bearing children, to provide me with offspring by my marriage to another woman. Fate decreed that you should precede me. You bequeathed me sorrow through my longing for you and left me a miserable man without children to comfort me. I, on my part will, however, bend my way of thinking and feeling to your judgments and be guided by your admonitions. But all your opinions and instructions should give precedence to the praise you have won, so that this praise will be a consolation for me, and I will not feel too much the loss of what I have consecrated to immortality, to be remembered forever. I pray that your spirits will grant you rest and protection.
So, what do you think? Are we so advanced regarding emancipation within a relationship these days? It is impressive to see that a text that is over 2,100 years old proves that little has changed regarding what is really important in life. I love this text. Anyway, this is what I hope to share with you this week. Regarding next week, we aren't sure yet. We have quite a few interesting leads, but it needs some work before we can share it. If you like what we are doing, I suggest you click the thumb up, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so that you will be updated on our episodes. We will simply continue making new videos for this channel. Cheers!